the Cultural Forum. It's so nice to have you online if you're still awake. But I figure this is the best time to make our videos, the live videos, because lots of people across all the different continents of the world will be awake by this time. It's a prime time to make live video. You are no longer hustling. You are no longer on your way back from work. I believe by now you will be home. So today we are going to be talking about the Igbo cultural festivals. That is our topic this evening, because it's evening here in Nigeria where I'm making this video from. We're going to be talking about the Igbo cultural festivals. You know, the festivals usually hold from August. You have some people doing their own up to December. So we're talking about today the Igbo cultural festivals. First, I want to seek your permission to share this video to my other social media platforms. So you will be patient as I take just 30 seconds to share the video so that more people can join us. You who is also watching the video, I'm encouraging you to please share the video to your own audience so that we can have as many people online as possible. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome to Enuani Cultural Forum. As you all know, we are discussing the rich cultural heritage of. Network is so terrible tonight. I don't just know. I feel so bad about it. I don't know if I should end the live broadcast because network is really so bad. So please, what you'll do for me is if you're online, give us a thumbs up so that we'll know that we have as many people online as we can so that we can continue. We're talking about the Igbo cultural festivals. We will begin with Iwaji Festival. That's the celebration of the New Yam Festival, what it represents in Igbo land. Myself, I do not eat New Yam until New Yam Festival is celebrated. It is a principle I learned from my father. It is a principle that is practiced and preached in my hometown. In fact, when I was a little boy, the community has a task force that goes around to check if people are cooking or eating new yam in the farm. If they are, no matter how hungry that family is that made them do that, they will be sanctioned. Everybody must wait until the New Yam Festival before they start eating new yam. So now there's no one checking on you anymore, no one enforcing it. But I have learned it, that I wait until New Yam Festival before I start eating new yam. We celebrated our New Yam Festival on Sunday. Ukeke NIGERIAN. So that was just 3 days ago. It is usually after 3 days ago, after Iwaji, that we celebrate our Ine festival. That one is also another festival, a rivalry festival, an exorcism festival. So we are talking about the Igbo cultural festivals, and this Iwaji festival is so infectious that the Igbos have now transmitted Iwaji festival to so many other tribes around the world. You will see the Oni of Ife now celebrating Iwaji. They have a name for it anyway. You now see the Oba of Benin celebrating his own New Yam festival. So we now have New Yam festivals in different tribes across Nigeria, different ethnic groups, copying the Igbos. Now I have said this without any fear of contradiction, that whoever is celebrating the New Yam Festival is copying the Igbos, because New Yam Festival belongs to the Igbos. You would hardly find any Igbo community that does not celebrate Iwaji. Iwaji is indigenous to Igbo people. I've challenged somebody, one of my friends from Benin, to give me a picture of the Oba of Benin celebrating New Yam Festival just 5 years ago. I even placed a price tag on it. Nobody could do that. Okay, so I've successfully shared to my Facebook, and I'm pleading with you to please share to your own audience. Let's have as many people online as possible. Please share to your audience. Let's have as many people online as possible. As you know, or as you already know, we are discussing the Igbo cultural festivals. And today we are talking about Iwaji festival. Iwaji festival in Igbo land. We said earlier that Iwaji festival belongs to Ndi Igbo. Any other any other people you see celebrating Iwaji festival copied it from Igbos. Yes, I've challenged somebody to show me a picture of the Oba of Benin celebrating Iwaji 5 years ago, but they can't produce that because they don't have it. They don't fit find them. So Iwaji belongs to us. Igbos. Iwaji belongs to us. So if you see any people celebrating Iwaji, know that they are Igbo people. Whether they call it Iwaji festival or not, they are Igbo people. Why do we celebrate Iwaji before we start eating new yam? Because yam is the king of all agricultural products. Some people call Iwaji celebration of Fejoko festival. Some call it Iwaji festival. But no matter the name they call it, it is all the same thing, the same purpose, the same aim. Iwaji is dedicated to the celebration of new yam before they start eating it. I personally do not eat new yam until new yam festival is celebrated because it is a period of prayer. It is during new yam festival that yam is consecrated and prayed over. And you also take the opportunity to thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for preserving you throughout Oun. Oun is the famine that ensues after yam has been planted. After planting yam, there's a short period of famine, shortage of agricultural products in the yam ban. So after surviving this, it is only natural because it is not everybody that survives it. It is after surviving it that you go into prayer to thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for preserving you. Then you pray over the new yam before you start eating it. This prayer is a prayer of contact. You pray it that is making contact with the next year's celebration. That having celebrated this year, you will live to celebrate the next year. It is not a pagan festival because people like to peg our festivals as paganism. This one is not paganism. In fact, the church has also adopted and they have the Iwaji and the Oka. So the church have Iwaji, but incidentally they do not have their own farm. It is these same pagans who will come with their yam to come and do Thanksgiving. Yes, most of these churches who celebrate New Yam Festival do not have one line set of yam ban. They don't have. They don't plant yam, but they do New Yam Festival, hoping for you pagans to bring your yam to celebrate Iwaji. Okay? So New Yam Festival is not a pagan festival. After New Yam Festival, in most Western Igbo communities, you have the Ine Festival. This one is a rye barley festival. During this festival, people are allowed to exhibit different characteristics and they will not be punished. They are allowed to say things they could not have said ordinarily and they will not be punished. People are allowed to make jokes of situations or circumstances that has happened within the year in retrospect. Thereafter, after the next day, that immunity elapses. People can even say anything to the king boldly without fear of being banished or punished because the festival allows people to have free speech. After this festival, after that Ine festival, It is celebrated by people of Ubuluku, Owashuku, Iseluku. In Obio, they have Obanigbe. These festivals are very crucial, very, very important. In Ishaku, they call it Ekwensu Festival. In Ubuluku, they say Eba Ekwensu, but the general name is Ine Festival. After the Ine Festival, you have the Iwu Festival. This one is more colorful because it is a purification festival where people are dressed in white. In fact, it is not a taboo, but it is frowned at when people wear this color, when people wear black to attend Iwu festival. You are supposed to dress in white and even have a white cane to walk around with. It is a purification festival. It is also not a pagan festival because when you come to Iwu festival, it is usually prayers, prayers, prayers upon prayers. Let me go back to Ine festival. Anybody that has done the Iwagana ritual and within the year, onye ahụ mefuru ọbara. Let me not speak it in English. Onye ahụ mefuru ọbara. The person undergoes the cleansing and the exorcism that comes with Ine festival. Onye ọbụla mefuru ọbara undergoes cleansing during Ine festival. It is strictly for people in the class of chiefs called Okweyese, the ones they call Onowu. It is the Onowus that are war chiefs that usually embark in this Imefu Obara. Onowu kesi noaya during this period of the year. After which, because as we have discussed in our previous classes, that blood, human life, is very sacrosanct in Igbo culture, that a man is not even allowed to take his or her own life. Should a man take his or her own life, the person is not qualified for a funeral rite in Igbo land. If it were in the olden days, the person will be discarded in the evil forest. These days, they will do some purification rites before they can open the ground and put the person, and that's the end. There's no right for that person that killed himself or herself. So suicide is not even allowed. If somebody commits murder as well, they will not go ahead to kill that person and say blood for blood, eye for eye, ear for ear. So thank you, my sister Chinyere Nabondo. Thank you so much. So if somebody commits suicide, the person is not qualified for funeral. If somebody also kills somebody, just like you saw in Things Fall Apart, in the olden days, a young child, either a boy or a girl, will be given back to that family to say, take this one in restitution, while they now start the cleansing ritual for the person who commits or who committed that murder. So our festivals are very, very unique. That Ine festival is right boundary. In fact, it was today that the people of Ubuluku, an ancient Igbo community in Delta State, celebrated their Ine festival. And I am from Ubuluku. One of the songs we will sing during Ine festival goes like this. The community is divided into two parts, or is shared into two parts because we are not divided. One part is called Obe, while the other part is called Alomo. While the people of Alomo, where I am from, I'm from the royal family in my hometown, the first royal house. Now, if we are to sing against the other people, we'll be singing Okudogbe Kaijochu, Okudogbe Kaijochu, Dua Dua Dua, Okudogbe Kaijochu, Dua Dua Dua, Okudogbe Kaijochu. Let fire burn Ogbe. Let us go and pick the spoils. While people from that Ogbe will be singing Ayi Jela Lomuge Bodo, Ayi Jayanu, Ayi Jela Lomuge Bodo, Ayi Jayanu, that they are coming to Alom, which is our place, to carry our Ikwe, our mortar, so that we will not be cooking again. Then they are praying that they will go and return in peace and harmony. So it's a very colorful festival. Again, it is not a pagan festival. These festivals are very, very important in promoting unity, harmony, and peaceful coexistence within the community. It is not a pagan festival. Nobody goes to any shrine. Nobody. Okay, maybe, I don't know. I am not in that class of chiefs called Okweyese. If themselves go, I don't know. But they are only allowed on this day to shake hands with the king. After that day, they will not shake hands with the king again because it is believed that as a war chief, their hands are usually soiled. So after the cleansing, they go for handshake with the king. After Inaka, they go back home. After the Ine comes the Iwu festival and so many other festivals. But we have discussed that very important among these festivals is the Iwaji festival, which holds every Igbo community together. It is yam that made Igbo what it is today. It is the ability of the Nri civilization to cultivate yam, store yam, preserve yam, and have food even when others do not have that drew people to Igbo land. People of different kinds, people of different tribes came into our midst, were assimilated, and they became Igbo people. That was what gave Nri a very big influence, that they were able to control the spiritual aspect of existence and also the food production aspect. The Igbos were the first to develop this system of planting yam, different species of yam, and celebrating yam. The Igbo man, an average Igbo man, no matter where he lives, plants yam every year with which he will celebrate Iwaji. Some people are using bags of cement to plant it in their compounds these days, so that by September, they will just empty the sand on the ground and collect their yam, with which they will offer prayer. Yam is a symbol of Igbo. I wish I can switch my camera so that you will see my yam. Yam is a symbol of Igbo. Without yam, the Igbos probably would have gone into extinction alongside so many other tribes that relied on the Igbos to feed them. The Igbos were the first to devise a technology to make iron tools. Before iron tools, the Igbos were the first to devise a technology to make stone tools and hand implements. These were discovered in Ugwele, where you have the oldest stone tools discovered in the world. The oldest axe heads discovered in the world. That was in Ugwele, in the then Okigwe region of Imo State, now in Abia State, Ugwele. Now, you go to Leja in Onsoka, that's where you have the oldest iron smelting site in the world. Like I said earlier, that Igbos were the first to devise a means to make metal tools for their farm work. With these technologies produced, Igbos focused more in farming and production of food. This drew people to them. Now, they could have used this energy to produce weapons and then use it to oppress people and intimidate them and make them, force them to become loyal to the Igbo nation, but they did not. They focused on using this technology to produce food and advance themselves. Okay, so I lost my audio.
So there's no place you will go to that you will hear that Igbos forced people here to start speaking their language. There's nowhere at all that you will ever hear that Igbos impose their language on the people there. There's nowhere in the world You will never hear that Igbos did so. So Igbos are known all over the world to be the ones who pioneered the planting, cultivation of yam using those iron metal tools, and it spread to other neighboring tribes, including those who were not even under the influence of Nri and Igbo. So this is why till today, every Igbo community, I don't think there's any Igbo community that does not celebrate Iwaji. All Igbo communities have one thing in common. They celebrate the New Yam Festival. They celebrate yam as the king of agricultural products before we start consuming it. It's just like the way we usually pray before we break kola. The way we usually also pray before we eat. That is how we pray over new yam before we start consuming it. I know some people, because of modernity, you must have eaten new yam before your community even said Chukwu Okike. And you wetakwa ji. I know you must have done that, or some people must have done that. People like us, I'm very conscious about it. Before the year starts, I already know the day we will celebrate Iwaji. So I know that I am already going to be eating old yam. At a time, old yam can become very expensive. But if I really have that appetite to eat yam, I will go and buy that old one until the new yam is celebrated. If you're watching this video, kindly please share this video to your audience, like the video. If you are not a subscriber, please, I hope you are a subscriber, my dear sister Chinenyen Nabondo. Please, if you are not a subscriber, kindly hit the subscribe button and please share this video to your audience. We are celebrating the Igbo culture. We are celebrating the Igbo culture. And we are pleading with you to please join us in promoting this Igbo culture. Thank you so much. I'm seeing the love all over everywhere. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm seeing all the love that you're dropping. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So please, if you're seeing this video, please give us a thumbs up, share the video to your audience. If you are not yet a subscriber, please also subscribe to our channel. We are talking about the Igbo festivals, and we have discussed almost exhaustively the New Yam Festival. Now, there are different kinds of yam and what they are used for. It is usually white yam that we use in celebrating New Yam Festival. We call it Jiocha. Jiocha is a general name. Ji Ocha meaning white yam. Jiocha is the general name for all kinds of white yam. Among the classes of Jiocha, you have Alafolo, you have Jiori, you have Jimbo, it's also Jiocha. These are the classes, different types of Jiocha. We also have Jioku. Some people call it Jiepe, depending on which community in Igbo land you hail from. Yellow yam, that one is considered the king of all other yams. As we are saying that yam is the king of all agricultural products, there's this type of yam that is also called the king of yams. It is because when that particular yam is dry and you eat it, you would never be the same again. Now, our type of yam is so good that it's not all this yam that you hear that they use sugar in cooking yam. I was so surprised to hear that people use sugar to cook yam. Our yam has very good taste, and we have a very good soil, such that when we cultivate yam, we do not necessarily need to add chemical fertilizers before they can give you optimum yield. So our yam is usually of good taste. All our staple food, yam, cocoyam, nduku, which we call potato, plantain, all of them have very good taste because we rarely ever get to rely on fertilizers, especially inorganic fertilizers, to produce our food. Our food products are usually from very organic soil, and they are not usually the GMOs, so the taste is very good, top notch. Kindly like this video if you're seeing it. If you're just joining us, please like this video. Please share also to your audience. If you're not a subscriber, kindly subscribe to our channel. We are aiming to use this opportunity of a live stream to boost our reach. We are aiming to use this opportunity of a live stream to increase our reach, our audience on YouTube. So please do us a favor by liking this video, by sharing it to your own audience so that more people can join us in promoting the Igbo culture. We have said that the New Yam Festival is so good that even the church has adopted it into its calendar. The church now celebrates New Yam Festival. The Yorubas now celebrate New Yam Festival. The Benis now celebrate the New Yam Festival. The only people remaining now to join us in celebrating this New Yam Festival are the Hausa people. And very interestingly, they produce a lot of yam there. They produce a lot of yam. Even the Yorubas also produce yam as much as we do. But they do not have that kind of respect that we have. We say that no, otherwise the kola nut is not so big that you can just throw it into your mouth like granite and chew it. But no, we don't do kola nut like that. We have a lot of ceremonies that follow, prayers that follow before we eat kola nut, before we break it even. We don't just come and break kola nut. So this is the same thing we apply to yam. We give a lot of respect to yam before we start eating it. That is the first. I'm already feeling sleepy. That's the first Igbo festival, the New Yam Festival. That's the first open, elaborate Igbo festival. And that's the festival that connects almost Igbo communities, almost all Igbo communities. So we said our ancestors devised a means to produce metal tools with which they improved their farming techniques. We have tools like awe, hoe. We have tools like opia, different types of opia. We have omerieni, the one that defeats elephant, omerieni. We have obejiri, the one that cuts very well. We have mmeku, the one they use in the kitchen, a sharp knife. We have agbada, a dagger. So different kinds of metal tools, but none was prepared for us to go to war with, because the Igbos were not known to plunder other communities by war. Rather, any community you see that an Igbo man came and started ruling, he did so through intellect. Through intellect. I'll give you an instance. Mythology has it that 3 children of Eze-Nri left Nri Kingdom towards the western Igbo community, and they founded these 3 communities I'm going to mention. Along the way, one of them stopped at Ibuzo and founded Ibuzo. He also met another Igbo settler there who is from Isu. That is why today they call Ibuzo Isu na Mbogo, because they have Isu people there. We also have the Oboli people in Ibuzo, who are the descendants of this Igbo migrant who came from Nri. His elder brother Odaibo continued and stopped in present-day Ogwashuku, where he founded Ogwashuku. He also met a small group of people led by Odige Ike, who claimed to have come from Anidu, present-day Benin Kingdom. The other of them, a lady, their sister, also came with them. And one of their siblings also founded Akuku Igbo. So you see, Igbos founded communities not by war or conquest, but by intellect. How Oda Igbo became the Obi of Ogwashuku was by intellect. He met the people of Ikelike, who said they are from Anidu. Every time they will be fighting over meat sharing. So he asked them, do you people not have an elder? They said they do. Who is the oldest among you? The oldest one came out. Who is the youngest? The youngest one came out. Then the youngest one led a group. This one led a group, and the groups were shared into 4. Oda Igbo asked the youngest one to share the meat. The youngest one shared the meat, and he asked the oldest one to choose first, and the oldest one chose. They chose according to age. The youngest one shared it. The oldest one took first. So nobody complains. The youngest one cannot complain that the oldest one has taken everything because he shared it. The oldest one cannot now say that he has been cheated because he chose first. So this wisdom of an Igbo man was demonstrated by Oda Igbo in Ogwashuku, making him the first king of Ogwashuku. When he was also to choose a successor, very, very interesting, the wisdom of an Igbo man. When he was to choose a successor, he didn't choose the most prominent one who is a male. He didn't consider sex. He didn't consider age. He didn't consider position. He just said, he brought out an item and asked them. That is why today when I see these Bini people claiming they are the owners of Ada and Eben, I will laugh. We have really suffered as a nation, the Igbo people. Most of the things that are ours or that we own, people claim, and we are not there to contend or contest anything with them. So he brought out this item, which is a ben, and asked his children, what is this? Ada and Eben. The particular one he brought out was Ada, which looked like a cutlass, and asked his children, what is this item? One after the other he asked them. His children's name I will try to recall, but one of them is Ahe. He asked Ahe, what is this item? That one was looking, doesn't know what he said, that it looks like a cutlass. He said, okay. He asked everybody, I think there's Okike. He asked every one of them, and I think there's Okuni. He asked every one of his children, 4 children, before the last one answered. The person who answered was a girl, Odu. Odu answered, it looks like a ceremonial item. And the father said, yes, this is a ceremonial item used by kings. And that was what made Odu become the first queen, woman king of Ogwashuku. Odu became a woman king of Ogwashuku. Although her reign was not very long before she left the throne, because as a woman there were rites she was meant to perform that she couldn't perform because she was still a young woman who was still menstruating. Menstruation is the problem that makes women not to enter shrines in Igbo land. So because of during a particular important feast, she was menstruating. So she was forced to abdicate the throne, and she moved to a place called Olu Odu. And she lives there. She lived there and died, and the place till today is still called Olu Odu, near Ogwashuku. Olu meaning a place near the river. There is Obo River around that area, and Odu, her name, Olu Odu. So when she left, one of her brothers took over the throne and continued from there. But I'm trying to demonstrate to you that the wisdom of an Igbo man in everything they do is not to be compared with anything else in this world. These people were able to devise a means to make metal tools. Instead of using those metal tools to go to war and fight each other, they used those metal tools to produce more agricultural products. They were able to study the sun and the cosmos to know when rain will start and when it will stop. Invariably not wasting their agricultural seeds. They were able to produce food to take care of themselves. When you hear that Igbos are known traders, what do you think they were trading on in the past? They have always had something to trade on. Those days when you see that somebody is going for hunting, they will say, what kind of gun does he use for hunting? They will say, Oka made. Oka made was raining like Oka made. It is produced in Oka, that is why they call it Oka made. So Igbos have always been known for productivity, for industry, not for war, not for bloodshed, unnecessary bloodshed, like it is happening today. That you hear that this group is called Udogachi. They just mistakenly fired a gun, or they arrogantly did it. They just flogged somebody here. They just killed this one there. This is not Igbo culture. In Igbo land, life is very sacred. Life is very sacred in Igbo land. Even the life of a mad person. We have this proverb that it is the day you kill a mad person that you realize that that mad person has a family. So life is very sacred. I don't know what is going on that people have now suddenly forgotten about this principle that we once held very, very sacred and very dear. So Igbo culture and cultural festivals have unique meanings. Each of them has its own role and function in the society. Please, I want to plead with you, although we suffered a little setback when we started because we had network disruptions, but now I feel network is a bit steady, and I'm asking you to please subscribe to our channel if you have not yet subscribed. This is Enuani Cultural Forum, as you already know, and my name is Ngozi Echukwuka Fortune, and I am your anchor. I'm the publisher of Enuani Cultural Forum, and today we are discussing Igbo cultural festivals, their importance and implications. We have talked about the Iwaji festival, which is one of the most, not one of the most, it is the most prominent Igbo cultural festival because every community celebrates it. I've also talked about Ine festival. You see the Ine festival mostly among the Western Igbos, and the Iwu festival as well. We have this new festival among us, the Anyoma people. It's new, but not new. It is at least over 20 years old. So you see that it's new, but it's not new. We call it OFAC, Organization for the Advancement of Anyoma Culture. And during this festival, interestingly, there's a point I want to bring out. During this festival, we have, in this western part of Igbo land, we have Ika people with their unique dialect, Igbo dialect. Some of them are now the ones that will say they are speaking Ika, they are not speaking Igbo. Let's leave them for now. We have the Enuani people who are found in Anyocha Oshimili, 4 local governments. Anyocha South, Anyocha North, Oshimili South, Oshimili North. That is where you have Asaba, Okpanam, Ogwashuku, Iseloku, Ubuluku, Obio, Akuku Igbo, Onicholo, na Isela Azaba. All these ones are in Enuani. Even Onitsha is part of Enuani, Onitsha Mili. Now, you have the Okwani people, including the Ndokwas. All of them are Okwani people. That is where you have the Kwale, parts of Ozoro, you have Obiaroko, Otabo Ube, Otabo No, and all those areas. They are the Okwanis. They have their unique Igbo dialect. Even if some of them will now come to tell you they are speaking Okwani, they are not speaking Igbo. Very funny. So what I'm trying to bring out is that during our OFAC, which is an annual cultural fiesta, an Okwani man will speak his Okwani. Just like an Ngwa man will speak his Ngwa dialect, and somebody from Owerri will understand. Why ihe na-akọ? Now, onye Owerri kparịwa ụka with asụsụ Owerri, somebody from Ogba will understand. That is how Igbo language is. It has an army, a navy, and an air force. It is not when you now start speaking one small dialect, you now say, this is our language. Don't say it's Igbo. We are not Igbo. It is just a dialect of the Igbo language. Most people don't know that in Igbo land, that is in all the parts of Igbo land, languages have dialects, and these dialects have different versions as well. I am from Obuluku. The way I speak Igbo is different from the way the next community close to Obuluku speaks Igbo. If an Obio man speaks and an Obuluku person speaks, you will know that this one is from Obio, this one is from Obuluku, although all of them are in Anyocha. Okay? If an Ogwashuku person speaks and an Obuluku person speaks, you will know that this is Ogwash, this is Obolo, this is Iseluku, this is Obio. But we are all Igbo. Why did I not now say I am speaking Obolo? I am not speaking Enuani. I am not Igbo. That is just what some people are doing. When you hear these people from Eka say they are speaking Eka, it's not Igbo. That we call it Ashi, they call it Ahe. That means they call it Ehi, we call it Ashi. That means it's not the same thing. Isn't it funny? It's very, very funny. So, Igbo language and Igbo culture has Odibende. Odibende does not change what it is. Your Odibende does not change what the Igbo culture is. It only adds flavor to it, making it unique. Your Odibende makes the Igbo unique. Les Sciences Divines, welcome. I am happy to have you on board. Please, if you're just joining us, kindly give us a thumbs up. We have 5 thumbs ups. We have 14 people also actively watching. Please, if you're watching, share the video to your audience and give us a thumbs up. We are celebrating the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. Today we are looking at the Igbo festivals. And we have said here that New Yam Festival, in fact for me, is the king of festivals in Igbo land, because every community that you look at in Igbo land celebrates New Yam Festival. In fact, our neighbors have started celebrating New Yam Festival because of us. You will see the Benin now celebrating New Yam Festival. Benin celebrating New Yam Festival. Ooh. Yorubas celebrating New Yam Festival. This is because we were able to package the Igbo festival of the New Yam and sell it out to the world. That same way, I am hoping that we can package our language as well and still sell it out the way our ancestors did. If you go to the Yoruba diction today, some of the things they pronounce are Igboid. If you enter Benin, oh my God, you will be amazed. More than 20 different words that I was able to bring out that are Igbo words in Benin language. More than 20. More than 20. Isn't that amazing? So please, let us protect and project what we have. Our ancestors preserved them, handed them over to us. Please, if you're watching this video, share to your audience. Share to your audience, share to your audience. I want to see at least 5,000 views by the time I end this live video. If you have not yet also subscribed, I want to also see that after making this live video, I got this number of new subscribers. It will embolden me and give me the encouragement to do these videos next time. Bikoni Aririok Mario. To promote this platform. where we can all always interact dịka enwene na enwene. Igbo asị n'izu ka mma na nneji, ya bụ n'ebe ụka. It is always good when we discuss together as a family, and we cannot do so if we don't have a platform where we always interact. So please, whatsoever you can do to help us promote and project this platform, do so. Thank you for joining this live broadcast. In case this is your first time of joining us, this is Enuani Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. And today, we discussed the Igbo cultural festivals. We talked about 3 main festivals. 1, Iwaji festival. We talked about Ine festival, and then we talked about Iwu festival. Please share this video to your audience. I want to hit the bed now because I have really stressed myself, and it wasn't the time I expected to start this video that I eventually started it, because we had network disruptions. Thank you for watching. Think and try. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for staying with us to this very moment. Les Sciences Divines, I'm seeing you online. Thank you. There's one more thing I think you can do. If it's convenient for you, give us super thanks. We really need as much encouragement as we can get from this platform. Financial support, moral support, all the supports that you can give. If your support will come in the form of you always sharing our videos and telling people about this platform, we are so grateful. If your support comes in terms of finance, what we are doing takes finances to run, a lot of finances to run. So if your own is to support us financially, please do so. If your own is to always bring up ideas, comment on our posts, ask us questions that provoke positive thinking, you are welcome. We need all kinds of encouragement. And also criticism, where you think we are not getting things right, where you think we have not represented the true status of our history. When we bring up a topic and we did not present it the way it is in your own community, because Igbo land is so big that I have advised people not to paint it with one brush. When you are painting each community, you bring out a different brush, because Igbo land is so big. What obtains in your community may not be obtainable in mine. That is why Igbos will say, no the bende na adịghị bende dịka ogiri isi na-agba mmiri. So what happens in your community and it is tolerated may happen in another community and it becomes taboo. One community may revere and worship python, while in another community you see it roasting there in the fire, they are going to eat it. That is how Igbo land is diverse. There is no one practice that they say, oh, this is it. Every Igbo community does it this way. There is none. For this new yam, I make bold to say that every Igbo community practices New Yam Festival. Please, if you're just joining us, we are sorry that we're about to end this video. Well, please, you can go back and watch all the things we said earlier. Share this video to your audience, please. Invite more people to come and subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining this live broadcast. Do have a very pleasant sleep if it's already evening where you are. If you're in the USA, I know it's just around 6 p.m. or thereabout where you are. Do have a very lovely night rest. Thank you so much.